QuickTeller.com and download the mobile app to get started. QuickTeller, everyday payments made easy.
All right.
With critical focus on the Nigerian economy, we see the bigger picture.
Studio, mics are up.
Business Express, 98.1, in collaboration with QuickTeller. QuickTeller, everyday payments made easy.
Good morning, Lagos. Thanks for joining us on Business Express for this Monday, the 27th of August, 2018. And joining Rotus this morning are Segun from ARM and Ugo Dre of Nairametric. Good morning, gentlemen.
Hey, morning.
Welcome. Welcome. Had a fabulous week, or weekend rather.
Yeah, it's been great.
Yeah, you did.
Hopefully.
Except Rotus. Rotus, how you doing, man?
Hi, I'm good. Valentine, good morning to you.
Good morning, man. Lagos, join us in this conversation. Send a message to WhatsApp. The WhatsApp number is 0809 444 0981. On Twitter, use the hashtag BusinessExpress981 when you're tweeting at Smooth981FM Lagos. And of course, on YouTube, type that Smooth981FM Lagos. You're going to find us. We're streaming live. Good morning.
All right. So 2 days in a row of gains on the stock exchange. Friday, we're up by 0.62%. 12.9 trillion is where the market cap is at. Skybank was our top gainer. And our top loser was University Press. So we're still at 360 naira, or 60 odd naira to the dollar. Gentlemen, is there any solace to be taken from the positive sentiment of the market over the last couple of days, at least Thursday, Friday, Segun, or is it still Goodwill Hunting starring Ben Affleck? And what are we seeing?
Yeah, I think essentially there are still some stocks you can actually still pick up in the market. Though we've seen some days of losses over the last few weeks, but it's actually still look good. You still look at Danksem. Danksem is still looking pretty good. We have a fair value estimate of about 278 naira on Danksem. While coming into the year, one of the major issues we've had around Danksem was the old Pan-African operation. So they had issue with gas, especially in Tanzania. So they've been using a lot of LPFO. So that has actually been dragging their cost. But coming into, I think last week there was an announcement that they reached an agreement with the South African Tanzania government. Mm-hmm. So there's going to be a supply of gas directly to their plant. So that's actually positive. That's actually going to support earnings from that from that business. So across Africa, they're looking good. We still think there's a positive sentiment around Danksem. If I'm still going to look at the cement sector, I don't see any reason why any clients should actually owe them Lafarge at current price. I think it's something, I don't think there's any reason why they showed it. Okay. Apart from we having a fair value estimate of 23 naira at current price, which is around 27 or thereabout. There's a rights issue coming up. That's going to be another dilution to the to shareholders. So I don't see any reason why you should actually owe Lafarge.
All right. So bullish on Danksem, as always. Not too bullish on Lafarge. Ugo Dre, you last week was like people should think about taking a break from the markets. Any reason to change your mind with the positive sentiment over the last days, or you're still holding your position?
Rotus, I think I said it last week, so if you're doubting me, why don't you just put your money in? Like I said, when you have a market that is dominated by penny stocks, then you know there's something really, really wrong. Let me just run you through some of the top gainers last week.
All right.
Maybe there are probably companies that you know about.
Yeah.
So one of the top gainers is Newest ASL. You know that company?
Not really too familiar with those guys. Yeah.
It was the top gainer last week, by the way.
Week on week, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you know Veritas Capital?
Yeah, Veritas, I'm familiar with.
In the top as well.
The Skybank too.
No, haven't released their results in almost 2 years. We're on that list. And then of course you have the usual ones of FCMB, Danksem.
Yeah.
I mean, but my point is that when you have stocks like even Lasaco, on your list, top 10 gainers list, then look, this is not a market that you want to play in right now. I think a lot of the smart money is out of the market. A lot of smart money has moved towards fixed income. People are basically waiting on the sidelines and hoping to probably hop in towards the end of the year, hop out again, and then probably come in maybe shortly after the election. But you know what? If you're a long-term investor, like some of us are, when I say long-term, in quote, all you can do is just have a very good valuation of a stock that you like. If you think that the stock is trading below its intrinsic value, there are a few stocks that are trading below their intrinsic value. You can go ahead and buy them. However, you got to have at the back of your mind that stocks can continue to trade much lower than their intrinsic value. We've seen that happen in the Nigerian stock market, and there's hardly any bottoming out. So it's not like it just bottoms out and it just stays there. So it can keep going lower and lower and lower. For example, Zenith Bank that crossed 30 at some point.
about dropping below 20 could actually go to as low as 16, 14 because people probably bought it at that price at that time. So but then doesn't mean intrinsic value it's not worth 30 naira. I doubt it's probably worth 30, right? But right now this is a market where there's not a lot of demand. Demand is out of the window. The foreign markets are a little bit in turmoil. People are a bit worried about investing in emerging markets, and the local investors as well seem to always wait for foreign investors to move in before they start to buy. Yeah. So for me, I think you just gotta two things. Look for stocks that you think are actually valuable, and if you like the price that they're in, you can go in and buy them. But if you don't have that kind of lever, like they say, then just stay out, push your money into fixed income, and then take a break. There's some very good fixed income products out there, right?
Yeah,
especially corporate bonds. Yeah.
In fact, you know what? Thank you for mentioning corporate bonds. We might as well jump into that story next, because we've got the guidelines from the central bank. They released this on Friday. Their circular guidelines for the RSSF, which is the Real Sector Support Facility through corporate bonds and CRR. Segun, what are we seeing with the guidelines that the CBN has put together?
Okay, so at the last MPC meeting, CBN mentioned something about pushing more fiscal stimulus into the economy, pushing more funds into the economy. So we actually waited for the guideline. It actually came out last week. So essentially what they are doing is they are pushing money through giving banks access to their CRR. So before now, banks are actually to contribute 22.5% of their total deposits as CRR to the CBN, which they earn nothing on.
Okay.
It's just sitting with the CBN. So, but now CBN is saying, okay, I can actually allow you access that part of your CRR, but you have to lend it to the real sector at 9%.
Okay.
So, and it has to be a project that is about 7 years and above. So it's actually more pushing, encouraging banks to actually lend, increase their borrowings into the economy. And also on the part of the CBN also is also saying that, okay, before, why the major guys you actually go to when you want to issue a corporate bond, you go to the PFAs and other institutional clients. But now you now have another player in the market, which is a CBN, also willing to actually buy into that. So what we are looking at is from the perspective that, okay, as at March, total CBN credit to the private sector stood at around 46.5 billion, compared to lending to banks, which was around 1.8 trillion. And also lending to the federal government, which was about 6.8 trillion.
Of course.
And also state was about 606 billion. So you can see that discrepancy between what CBN does to the real sector and what they do to those other lines. So with this new stimulus, we actually expect more funds to actually come to the CBN, to the real sector. And I believe the CRR, while there's still a clause around that CRR side. So CBN is still saying, if a bank lends, the bank still bears the risk. So you're telling me to lend at 9%. And for me to actually lend at 9%, I want more. So it's more like I'm taking higher risk, but I get more, but you're limiting how much I can get from it.
Charge on that.
But you're still telling me I still have to lend at the part. So there's still an issue around that area that the banks and CBN needs to work out, so they can come to a middle ground on, or maybe if they share the risk half, I think the banks might still be willing to actually start.
Ugo Dre, what are your thoughts on this move by the central bank? I've been advocating for single-digit rates, but I'm not in agri. But hey, what do you think?
So you can get single-digit rates artificially, and which is what the CBN has been trying to do for eons, for ages. If you look at the CBN's 2017 results that they released some time ago, look at the amount of provisioning that they've made. A lot of these, all boil down to some of this subsidized loans in quote that they've been giving for years, and at the end of the day, you look at it and you're like, okay, so as Nigerians, have we been better off? Right? Have there really been jobs created because of this stimulus in quote? Are prices of goods and services actually lower than I mean, have they really benefited from what it is that they wanted to do? So the point is that you've got to let the market determine rates. Yes, we don't want a situation where rates are like 20, 21%, 22%. We don't want that. Nobody wants it. But the problem is that there's something structurally wrong with the economy. So cost of funds for a lot of these banks are very expensive, very high. And then when you have inflation rate at about 11%, in fact, average over the last 1 year is probably about 13, 14%. Are you going to expect banks to lend lower than that? And just like Segun said, you're giving out a facility at 9%. You're telling banks to lend at 9%, and then they're going to take that risk because they know, CBN probably knows that they can't keep taking risk like this because they have, we call all intervention funds in the power sector, in the industrial sector, several sectors. Hasn't really materialized too much, really. So they don't want to take that risk. Now they want banks to take that risk. Why is the bank going to take that risk? A bank would rather just leave that money with the CBN and
interest.
Maybe interest at sub 5-6% or thereabout, but then interest free, and then wait again to the CBN maybe opens up one of its usual windows, maybe it's OMO, and then push money in there. So you won't see the kind of credit that you want to the private sector. The way the CBN is pushing the banks to do it. So banks will typically lend in their own way. They have their own risk management policies that they're going to rely on to lend money. So I don't see this working. I don't see this going anywhere, at least in the short term, except maybe they look at it again and then they change. But banks are not actually compelled to do this. So all they are saying is that, look, I've got your CRR, right? So part of your CRR, well, that's your cash reserve requirement that I have. You can either leave it with me and let it earn close to zero, or you can come and take it and then lend to the real sector at 9%. So you're a bank and you're saying, well, who am I lending to? You've actually basically said I can lend to people that so you can't actually lend, you can't refinance, and you can't lend to existing borrowers. So you have to look for new people that you're probably not very sure of their risk profile, and then you lend money to them at 9%, and you basically take the entire risk. So I don't see it going anywhere, Rotus. That's my personal opinion.
Maybe not entirely, but I think it might still work. And the corporate bond part of it, I know that could be a success.
Okay.
And also,
I don't think the CBN. I don't think you need the CBN for the corporate bond to work. Anyway, maybe in terms of liquidity, yes. But I really doubt it. The appetite is out there already.
Okay, we've run out of time, but I want to, since we're on YouTube, guys, if you don't mind sticking around, maybe just like 1 or 2 more minutes after we get off air.
So we can answer the questions.
Yeah, we have a lot of questions. So we'll answer them on YouTube, so that gives you guys an incentive to stay to YouTube. All right, Valentine, we'll tune in, but stay on YouTube. We'll answer your questions.
That's right. That YouTube handle or address actually is youtube.com/smooth981FM Lagos. Coming up next, we have a message from one of our partners. It's here to give you a chance to win and benefit from the discounts available. Good morning, it's Smooth 981FM.
What time does that start? What time does the Jumia thing start?
7.
So we got like 2 minutes?
Yeah, just try.
All right, real quick, guys. All right. So Raymaker says Segun should restate his reason for not buying Lafarge. I didn't get. So you said it was because of the price, right?
Yeah, I feel it's overpriced at current price.
Current price
Actually overpriced.
Ugo Dre, what do you think about the mutual benefit with that capitalization and share price going on right issue of Tikobabeg? How much is the stock now?
This year they declared dividend from 2017 results. Our opinion at Nairametric is that they shouldn't have done that because they have negative retained earnings or negative reserves. So we actually don't know where they're going to pay that money from. So personally, if I own that stock, I'm not going to touch it. I can't own that kind of stock anyway. Interestingly, I could actually use them as for my insurance.
Yeah, we're not going to get it.
Yeah, well, no way.
Okay, somebody asked about. Okay, wait, we're about to go on now. Yeah. Okay, you know what, guys? We'll still get to your questions. I'll try and answer the rest of them tomorrow. But guys, thank you so much.
Or you can direct your questions to Twitter.
Yes,
at
Ugo Dre.
Quotes.
Yeah, Rotan Quotes or Ugo Dre. Or do you even use your Twitter? Okay.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks.